Hey, welcome back to The Breakdown exclusively for ATV.ca and A Sports Extra. I am NJ, he is BL, and you are MS. What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Much. You guys waiting for spring?
Anything to talk about, or?
A few things.
Yeah, the OHL playoffs are up and running. Hey, kudos to the London Knights, or a pat on the back, as Bob Belichico down by the border would say. A big win over Owen Sound in Game 2 with this amazing offensive outburst that we rarely see from this crew. What gives, Brent?
I think they're just, it all came together for one game, I think. I don't know that you're going to see many offensive outbursts like this for the rest of the series, but it's not what they expected, but they're pretty happy with it.
Well, I kind of disagree. I mean, they did split the season series with them. You know, the last 2 week times up in Owen Sound, I don't know if you can really gauge that as to how the series will go. London plays well at home. They haven't had a chance to do that very often in the second half of the season, but they may go game for game. Who knows?
During the regular season, London scored the fewest goals in the OHL's Western Conference, but the new season can bring all kinds of different things, and so far, London looks like it's in its series with Owen Sound. As far as the attack is concerned, 97 points during the regular season. They're talking about it like it's this monumental thing, which it is, but the regular season is over now. If you cannot win in the playoffs with this group, go on a deep run, forget about everything you've done over the first 68 games. It really doesn't mean anything. You got to start putting trophies into the trophy case. Do you think Owen Sound can rebound against London and put them away? Because they don't want to go deep with London because they know their next opponent's going to be even tougher.
I think it's really kind of up in the air for everything. I kind of compare the Western Conference of the OHL to what you saw in the NCAA tournament, where there's no stars, really. Mm-hmm. There's no real dominant teams, although a few teams had a good seasons. But really, I think it's just any team really could take it, as kind of strange as that is. I still think Erie may be the best team, but Owen Sound showed during the regular season they had enough talent to get through. But I don't know. After 2 games, it looks like it's been London so far.
Before Brent starts calling the Knights Butler, I will interject.
You know he wants to.
But no, there is that playoff scenario like we're seeing in the NCAA tournament, you know, where a Butler could get through. Who is that? Is it Plymouth? Is it the Knights? I don't know.
Do you think butlers around the world, actual butlers, are cheering for Butler?
No, they have to be.
That's their team. That's right. Go the Butlers. That'd be a good team nickname too. Hey, look, I think with Windsor, you mentioned the Spitfires Otters series. I think Windsor is about to lay down its sword and relinquish its title as number 1 in all of Canada. The Otters are certainly going to do that. That series is pretty close right now, but I've got the Otters to win that series in 6 games. Do you think it goes beyond 6? And do you think Windsor's basically on borrowed time?
I think Erie's a much better team, and I do think they will win the series. Spitfire showed some heart on the road in Game 2, pulling off an overtime win, but I think just the depth of the forwards that the Otters have and their hot goaltending will eventually put them through to that. And I still think they are going to win the Western Conference. It's a long way to go still.
Well, it'd be interesting if they did, and Greg McKegg sort of front and center, but hey, let's not forget about Philly Verone. 80 some odd points, his first real healthy season in a long time. Wasn't able to show what he really had in the tank for London because he was injured for most of his tenure in London, but really got it together for Erie, and he's going to be an absolute key if Erie wants to go the distance and make it all the way to the championship, as Brent is predicting. So we have Owen Sound and London pretty close. A couple of the blowouts, St. Mike's, we know this team's got to go all the way and win the title and then represent Mississauga and the OHL at the Memorial Cup. The team is just too good, too stacked. Anything less would be a disappointment. Niagara, I think it's going to be St. Mike's and Niagara fighting for Eastern supremacy. And the Plymouth Kitchener series is interesting because the Rangers giving it away in Game 2, a lot has been made about this team, like it could be a potential champion. But you're down 2-0 now. They're playing with fire here. If they're going to go down 3-0, I don't think they have one of those Windsor-esque comebacks in them.
No, I like Kitchener, and I've said that I've liked Kitchener from the start. This is tonight's game, Monday night's game, is crucial if they have any chance against Plymouth, because if they go back to Plymouth down 3-0, it's over.
They picked the wrong time to get on a losing streak. They lost the last 7 games of the regular season, then the first 2 of the playoffs. If you're going to pick a time to go in the tank, they picked the wrong time to do it. Right now, they got to snap out of it quick.
How about Guelph Saginaw? What a series that is, huh? Danny Ehrlich, he's an ex-Knight. We all care about what he's up to. Are those guys just basically a doormat for whoever they face in the second round? Or
well, Saginaw at first I thought was going to be the best team. They were ahead of Owen Sound for much of the season, and they kind of tailed off near the end. And I think either of those teams are basically flip a coin at this point. Saginaw won the first game by a goal. Guelph came back and hammered them in game 2. Like I said before, I think the Western Conference is wide open. No team has shown they've been dominant. No team has the stars to carry them through necessarily. So it's going to come down to goaltending, and so far that's what the Knights have had.
Speaking of goaltending, what about Philip Grubauer in Kingston with Dougie Gilmore's France down 3-0 to the Jennies? Is that a bit of a sleeper in the East?
Yeah, the whole Eastern Conference to me, other than Mississauga, is basically a wash. I think Mississauga, you can't even get a shot on net against Mississauga. Like their defense is so stifling. Their goaltending is solid.
Knights fan?
Well, the Knights had a little trouble one game, but I mean Belleville only 19 shots a game, 20 shots a game in their playoff games. Not any real good scoring chances, and Mississauga's just dominated them. I think it will get tougher against Niagara or Oshawa, but the majors are just showing their class above everyone else.
Yeah, they've stockpiled all season long, and if they're not into the Memorial Cup tournament, which they host as OHL champion, it's going to be a huge disappointment. Before we go, guys, Junior B, St. Thomas, London, the rematch from last year's major disappointment on behalf of the Nats. They even made the A Sports Extra Top 10 of 2010 in negative fashion. Maybe they make the A Sports Top 10 of 2011 in positive fashion. I know you're from St. Thomas, those are your boys down there, but when you break it down here, you think London's on a bit of a run and that the Stars are going to get all they can handle? Real quick.
I think this year's been good for the Nats. They haven't had the pressure of being the top seed with being everyone hunting them. Now they kind of laid low all year, and now they're the hunter, and I think that could be beneficial. They're playing good hockey right now on a bit of a roll. St. Thomas is pretty deep defensively. I think St. Thomas is due for a championship, but these Nats have surprised all year long. People didn't think they were going to be good, and they're there.
The way that the Nats called the Vipers onto the carpet because they used the illegal goaltender. He didn't sign a card. Should we make that big a deal out of it? And do you kind of look at it like, hey, you know what, the Nationals are getting in through to the championship in cheap fashion, or are they playing by the rules and using any advantage they can get because at that point they were trailing?
Absolutely. You know what? If you know that the team is breaking a rule that can advance you, you do it. And especially if you lost the game. If they won that game, you wouldn't have heard about it.
It's strategic.
Of course. And any coach. If they didn't do it, they're not doing their job.
Where is Darian Ekblad right now? Is he hiding? How come we're not pounding on his door to get answers from him? And hey, guys, it should be interesting to see how it all unfolds at the OHL level, the Junior B level. But baseball's coming back, boys. What do you think? The Blue Jays, I've got them 92 wins, second in the AL East, and not making the playoffs. Quick prediction.
Well, excitement. I mean, have we ever had this much excitement going into a Jays season? And I think that where they finish, I can't predict that. I mean,
you don't have a crystal ball.
I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm just
a crystal ball.
That's right.
I think somewhere between last season's 85 and maybe 88. They're still on the rise, on the upswing, but I'm ready for Thursday. Let's get the first pitch going in baseball.
I hear you. For BLMS, I'm NJ, and we're all sort of Butler fans. And if there are any other Butler fans out there, give us a holler.
For that matter.
We are kind of Butlers. Talk to you next time on The Breakdown.